Okay, this is interesting. So if you look at the rows, we see row 6 and row 8, but we do not see row 7. So she's referencing a number that we can't see. So weird. Hello, Barbies, Kens, theys, and thems. Welcome to Nicole Reacts, a show in which I, Nicole Willette, react to online marketing gurus that I find, that other people help me find, and in this case today, who find me on the internet. My qualifications for marketing stark and marketing commentary that I've owned a marketing company for 16 years. In that time, I've worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So I know a fair bit about marketing in general, but also specifically about online marketing topics like social media marketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, that kind of thing. So today I am at home. It's a weekend. I'm in my comfy clothes and I have this video I really wanted to watch, but I forgot to grab my studio lights from the office. So I had the option of recording in the slight darkness or hauling it to my office and hauling it back to record this video. And you know what? I'm going to try it a little dark. Comment if you care or comment if you don't, because I'm just curious how important the lighting is. So today's person is Positive Impact TV, and as you'll notice, we are similar sized YouTube channels. So I normally wouldn't cover this person, except they added me to their Substack list without my permission. So a little bit of background is one of our clients is an author, and he has a pretty good sized Facebook account, and he started doing Substack about, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. But he understands that in addition to selling books, Substack would be a great way for him to get paid on a more regular basis and for him to be able to create content more often. So we have been running ads from his Facebook page to his Substack list, to the free version and hopefully being upselled to the paid version. And these have been going really well. So well that Substack asked him to write an article about how he was getting subscribers. Maybe he pitched this article to Substack. I don't know. Anyway, point being is he was writing this article and knew that Substack was going to reshare it. So he texted me and he said, "Hey, Nicole, I snuck a link to your business in the article saying that you've been helping me run these ads, and Substack is going to let it go through." So cool. Thanks. I really appreciate it. So it goes to his list of over 50,000, and then it goes to Substack's list of 1 million people. Okay. And again, I am multiple paragraphs in, and it just basically says, I use this agency to great effect, kind of thing, and just links us. That's the mention. I'll put it on the screen. That is the section of the article in which you were mentioned. It's a much longer article, obviously. So we did see a jump in traffic to the website, and I did prepare our web host for that. We're like, this is going to get shared to upwards of 1 million people in the next week. So let's just prepare for an influx of traffic. So our website didn't tank or anything, but we did see a 25% increase in traffic to our website. And some people made some bookings and stuff for a consultation. And I have so far one paid client from it, which is awesome. And I really appreciate, especially in the middle of a recession. But one of the side effects was I suddenly found myself on a couple of lists that I definitely did not sign up for in Substack. And one of the lists I was on was this Positive Impact TV thing. So I feel like if you're the kind of person who randomly adds people to your list without permission, then I get to cover you. So the video we're going to watch today is how to free up time and get 1,000% ROI for coaches and speakers. And there is a sub-headline called online business coaching. So I do think this has to do with marketing, but I don't know for sure, obviously, until we watch it because the title is a little bit vague, but 1,000% ROI. Anyway, let's watch it together. Just a warning, I'm in a little bit of a punchy mood today, as you can probably tell. But yeah, 1,000% ROI, guys. Let's get ready.
Speakers, authors, online entrepreneurs, how do you feel about hundreds of hours you spend on social media every week? And I don't mean learning.
I do social media marketing and I don't even spend hundreds of hours on social media marketing a week, but okay.
I mean creating content, researching what to do online, actually posting or scheduling your content, thinking about the strategy. What is it that I should post? How much does it actually convert? to booked calls or closed sales. I wanted to offer you a solution today. I'm going
Okay, so I have a little bit of an issue with the premise of this, which is that there's no way for you to tell if what you're doing on social media is working. She's not saying that directly, but she's implying that. And the thing is that we can know if it's turning into stuff. First of all, we're able to see how many clicks the links we share on social media are getting, or the links to our social media profile are getting. So if you have a link in bio on your Instagram or something, you can actually see how many people click on it every month, and you can see how many people click on the individual buttons within your link in bio. Or if you share a Facebook update and there's a link in it, you'd be able to see how many people clicked on it if you had tracking on your website. If you have a form that people are using to book a call, you would be able to look at how people filled out that form and the source of the traffic of people who filled out that form within Google Analytics. So there is several ways for you to know if social media is generating traffic to your website and if it is resulting in someone filling out a form or if it's resulting in someone buying something on your website. Like you can set tracking to a purchase. And then the secondary dimension you pick in Google Analytics can be traffic source. So you can actually see, oh, Facebook traffic turned into 4 purchases. Google search traffic turned into 50 purchases. Email marketing link, because we made a custom link in the email campaign, turned into 5 purchases. You run these reports. So it's not like we're doing this blind. It's not like we're taking out a radio ad and running it for 2 weeks and then seeing if more people come into our business, right? We actually can tell with online stuff what results from our actions. So I just disagree with the premise that she's trying to set up here, which is that there's no way that you can know the results you're getting. We do have to set up that reporting in terms like on our websites. We do have to set up a way that we're tracking that traffic. We do have to set up goals for things like filling out forms or making purchases or viewing certain pages or clicking certain buttons, whatever it is we want people to do. We do have to set up those things to be tracked, but they can be tracked and we can see the results of our marketing. But let's get back to it.
I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I'm going to show you a solution that will cost you less than a coffee every 3 days, I think, because Starbucks is $5 now. So
This is a really weird way to talk about pricing. Let me see. So $5 every 3 days, and there's 30 days in a month. So 5 times 10. So this solution costs $50. My other pet peeve is like when she has the Zoom logo on her thing, and all that tells me is she was too cheap to pay $14.99 for the month of Zoom to get rid of the logo, but that's neither here nor there.
so for 20 cups of coffee a month, you
Okay.
get this headache completely taken care of, and you save hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Okay. 20 coffees a month and they're $5 each. So 5 times 20 is $100. Okay. All right. I think I'm following the math now.
So let me show my screen,
Yeah, great.
and I will go over to you. Why am I doing this? Because this is the pain that I have experienced personally in my business. And now that I have a team who's efficient with this and who runs really well with this task, with my supervision, with my guidance, I am confident that we can also help you guys save time and money taking care of your social media.
Oh, okay. So she wants to sell social media maintenance services for $100 a month. I don't know how she's going to do that, but
If I were only to find the link, then it would definitely be helpful.
you can pause the recording in Zoom.
Let me see here.
No one's you can have this all set up before you start recording.
So while I'm looking for the link, let me talk
Oh my god, you can also just pause the recording and then restart it once you have the link.
to you guys about it.
Yeah, talk to us about it, sure.
What we talked about previously in our social media roadmap video, if you haven't seen that, you should take a look at that because that would help you whether you use it today or not. We talk about things like omnipresence. Okay. And what does omnipresence mean? It means being in multiple places at the same time and would not be an efficiency and time saver. when you can do one thing and it automatically goes to a whole bunch of different platforms, a whole bunch of different people see it. And as you know, every platform has its own audience. So Facebook has its own fans, TikTok has its own fans.
So there's lots of software that does this. The one I'm thinking of is called repurpose.io. I think it's 25 bucks a month. And you set up your social accounts, you connect them all up, and then you pick what your sort of base social media is going to be. So let's say that you're going to upload everything to TikTok. And from there, you want it to automatically share to YouTube, to Pinterest, and to Instagram. And let's say that was your plan. Now, what you can decide for each of these individual platforms is you can share everything. It can be like automatically share everything from TikTok to YouTube, or you can say, you know what, for YouTube, hold the videos in reserve and then you can individually approve. So maybe you don't want everything from TikTok to go to YouTube, but you want most things. So you have everything sent, you look at your list, you're like, yep, post these four, don't post this one. And it'll go on your schedule and it'll repost your content. You want to post everything definitely from YouTube or TikTok to Instagram. Okay, great. Everything can automatically go there. So you can set rules like that on this platform based on the kind of sharing that you want. And it can be automated. So just know that that exists as a technology and it's like 25 bucks a month. So I don't know where the other $75 is going to go, but I think she implied that she can make the content with her team, but we'll see.
Usually people go to their primary, most convenient platform, and that's where they hang out. So, how are we going to help you do that? First of all, we create a content roadmap and a system that generates you the results you want, whether those results mean more appointments booked, more sales calls in your calendar, or whether that means fill in your events, fill in your launches, getting people to your landing page, getting them your book, right? So those are the things that we definitely focus on first. I
Yeah.
sit down with all of my clients first and figure out what is it that they actually care about in terms of their business. All right. So let's
Her captions are like a little slow, and I don't know if that's just auto captioning going slow for her or whether that's, I know Zoom has automatic captioning now, so I'm not sure if she uploaded these from Zoom with captioning on or if this is YouTube doing this, but it seems like they're a little delayed.
do this now. I have it now ready.
Okay.
Let's share the screen. There we go. This is just a rough idea. Okay. I'm just going to go really superficially over this and I'm going to show you something that's a lot more impactful, which is right
Okay.
below this. Okay.
I'm gonna make myself a little smaller so we can see this better.
So if you see on the left here, a bunch of platforms, okay, that we use to get your content in front of people. And every single one of these has a different personality, different algorithm. You need to know what you're doing. If you're just doing the same exact thing on all of these platforms, it may or may not work.
So she just said like a minute ago that it's more efficient to make something and have it go everywhere. Now she's saying all the algorithms are different, so you should have different content on the different places. I understand the argument for both sides, but saying the opposite thing within 2 minutes of when you said the first thing is a little bit confusing.
So let me just give you an example. For
Yeah.
example, an Instagram story is something that's going to put you on top of mind for your followers. However, Instagram Reel will also be offered to people who are not currently your followers. So this is like free marketing. It will be offered to people who are similar to your followers, the alike audience. So just like that, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, for example, some TikToks will act the same way. They will be offered to people outside of your followers. So this is a way to grow your following. Okay. And this is the way to reach people outside of your audience. So different things will have a different reach and a different effect. So for me to understand what you need, create a strategy, and then for our team to execute it would be my pleasure. Okay. So there you go. If we look a little bit below here, on average, okay, you would get 64 posts on a monthly basis, up to 160 and 220 posts. How much time do you think you would need to create these posts? Right? So I would say on average, spending half an hour, and that's underestimated because you do need to put a lot of pre-work, graphic design, maybe AI work, maybe hashtag research into all of these posts. But on a conservative scale, on a half an hour per post, you would be saving about 35 hours a month.
But some of those things are cross posted. Like above it said parentheses cross post. If you're taking the same piece of content and reposting it somewhere else, that's clearly a lot less work than creating a brand new piece of content. She's saying you get 64 pieces of content, but some of those content are reshared pieces of content. So you're not getting 64 unique things. You're getting like some amount less than that, but it's getting cross posted. Okay. I just needed to clarify that.
Month, right? That's on a conservative.
Yeah. And I'm not saying content doesn't take time because content takes a lot of time, but this seems really cheap for 64 posts. I'd really like to see some examples of her content.
Scale. That's considering you're going to do the whole month right at one sitting without disruption. Okay, because the transitioning into and out of a task also takes time.
Yep, I agree with this. When I do like video editing for clients, I typically will spend the whole day editing their videos, or I will spend a few hours like on their content at a time because it does make me more efficient when I can batch tasks like that.
Up to 120 hours a month. Okay. At a minimum wage, let's say if you were to pay somebody a minimum wage or if you were to work at a minimum wage, this is how much it would cost you to produce this number of posts. Okay. However, you're not just working for a minimum wage. You, freeing up these hours, have the ability to generate income and serve your clients at a traditional coach's expert rate of a minimum $100 an hour. Correct? That's how you serve your clients at a minimum $100 an hour. So if you free up 35 hours,
Here's the thing though, billable hours are different than the amount of hours you work in a week. So on any given day, for example, I could be checking and responding to emails, responding, checking voicemails, paying bills for the company, sending out quotes, sending out an invoice. These are all activities that I can't bill out for, but I need to do to run my business, right? And then there's actual client work, which is billable. What we're aiming for is some amount of billable work in a typical week or month. So she's saying that in this lower level package, billing out that time that you'd be spending on marketing, she's assuming that you would have a client to actually bill if you weren't doing the social media work, you'd have the time to see them, and that you were doing a certain amount of billable work every single week or month. I want to take a closer look with you at her numbers here. So, what she's assuming is that in this lowest level social media package, you're going to take that 35 hours you were spending on social media and you're going to be working directly with clients in a billable way. That's quite the assumption, but let's pretend she's right. So we take those 35 hours and divide it over the course of 30 days in a typical month, right? So she's saying that you're billing out a little over an hour per day. Now you're not necessarily working every single day of the month. Maybe you take weekends off or something. Between 1 and 2 hours every day that you're working is what you're billing out for. Whereas if you look at the highest level package, right? So all the way to the right, where she's saying you're spending 121 hours instead of on social media, now you're spending them with clients. Divide that over 30 days. That's 4 billable hours every day in the 30 days. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 16 years. I do not get 4 billable hours a day from my work. I probably get it combined with Jessica and Ben and Jane's work, but I cannot get 4 billable hours myself to do client work, 4 hours out of an 8 hour day. That's just not happening. So I just wanted to say that because the math ain't mathin' for a few reasons for me. One of them being how little time it seems to be to create 64 different posts, which again, they're not different posts, but also in the fact that we're going to take that time and definitely be working in a billable way with clients during all that newfound time. I don't think it's going to happen, but
hours a week at $100 an hour, you would be saving or making room to create potentially $3,500
room to create potentially.
that month, up to $8,000 or $1,200. So if you want to,
It's not 1,200, it's $12,000. But again, I just showed you how, like, that's probably not gonna happen, that you're not gonna get 4 billable hours a day for 30 days straight. That's probably not gonna happen for you, in particular if you're just starting out. But just because you free up time from social media, it means you have the opportunity to have more billable time with clients, but it doesn't mean you're getting it.
If you're one of those people who always complain about time, that is definitely for you. If you're one of those people who say, I'm confused with social media, it's just stealing my time, I'm wasting my time. I don't see results. Why am I even on social media if I don't see results? Nobody's booking, nobody's reaching out. Not only you're going to be handling that frustration, you're also going to be freeing up this time. And you're also going to be filling this time now with calls, with servicing your clients. So this is a win. All right.
Mhm.
Now, on average, I averaged out this ROI. So let's say if you
I agree on the base premise that if you do free up your time on tasks you do not enjoy or are not efficient at, to be able to do the tasks that you are the most efficient at and are the most important for your business, that it's going to help things. I agree with that.
if you were to be making somewhere between the minimum wage and $100 an hour, okay, on average, for the number of hours you save and for the cost of these packages, the bronze package right now at this time for a very limited time is $97 a month, guys, a month.
Okay, let's check this out. So we get 8 Facebook profile posts, 8 Facebook stories. We get, what is Facebook group seating? I think that's like post to a Facebook group maybe, or inviting 8 people to a Facebook group. Instagram post slash reel, and Instagram story. 24 of these posts are cross posts, which means they are posted somewhere and then reshared, right? So you get actually 40 posts, not 64, 40 unique posts for $97. So $2 a post ish. That seems really cheap. I want to see some examples of what these posts are.
Your rate of return on investment, I should also say rate of return because some people use that term, is 2000%. 2000%. And it remains
How
over 1000% for the other
how are you calculating this? I'm trying to figure out how she's calculating this ROI. Maybe she's going to tell us, but I'm a little bit confused as to how she's getting these numbers.
for the other packages. So that is a no brainer.
And it also seems like you're getting more of a return on the lower price package than you are on the higher price package, which also seems weird. If you're paying more, shouldn't you be getting more? Again, I'm not quite sure how she's making this calculation. I wish she'd show us.
If you are looking to optimize your
Oh
business,
wait, she is showing us. So she does have a formula here. H25 plus H24. So that's your coaching rate plus the rate you would be paying for minimum wage divided by 2 times H7. I don't know what H7 is, but hopefully she'll scroll up again in a second, but that's the formula. I just can't quite read the whole thing because I can't see what one of the numbers are.
this is one of the most obvious giveaways to get this headache off your plate. Okay, social media. And I'm not just talking about social media junk, okay? Not just pretty pictures, graphics that are
Okay, this is interesting. So if you look at the rows, we see row 6 and row 8, but we do not see row 7. So she's referencing a number that we can't see. So weird.
that are designed by some freelancer. Okay, we're talking about a strategy. I'm going to sit down with you guys. I'm going to do a 30-minute onboarding call and I'm going to create the strategy for you. And my trained team will be executing the strategy. They're not just going to be creating random posting. All right. Now, what are these extra things here? These are super important. And these are I've kept adding them. These were added during this week, just from the conversations I'm having with people and noting their frustrations. And I'm like, I can do this for you. I can do this for you. I can do this for you. My company can do this for you. What are some of those things? Oh, my Facebook group, I tried it, but it's too small and it's not engaging and it's not being used. And what am I going to do with it? Give it to us. We'll make it grow for you. We're going to make it into a source of clients for you. I'm going to teach you how to use it so you can put people into it and use it as a pool that you're nurturing. Now,
$97 and up. So what makes it go up is what I'm curious about.
when they join the group, they're going to give you their email. Again, second line, newsletters. Oh, I have a list, but I haven't sent anything out and I don't know what to send. And last time I sent something was a year ago. Guys, I've heard all of your excuses. Stop. Your email list is gold. If you're not using it, if you're not sending newsletters, don't worry about spending time designing the newsletters and figuring out what to send.
$50 for sending 4 newsletters, that's also really cheap. Again, quality is important in addition to quantity, and I'd really like to see some examples of what these newsletters
Who on
are.
what platform. Let us take it completely off your plate. All I'm going to need is your list. Okay. And we're going to send them out. We're going to create a free email system for you. I'm going to teach you how to use it. So whenever you are done with us, you're going to continue all of this on your own. I'm not just doing it for you, I'm also giving you the tools to learn. If you want, if you'd like to learn, it's there for you. You can join us on the weekly call every month, every week. For our monthly members, you can join those calls once you go with any of these packages and you can learn those things for yourself or you can train your team. Okay. But we can get it started for you. Let's get it started. Let's get the ball rolling. Now we can create courses and presentations for you. How many of you go, oh, I know I have all the material for the course. I just haven't done it. I just haven't put it up there. Let us do it for you. Virtual events, summits, and giveaways. Oh, yeah, I should do an event. I would love to do a summit, but I don't know how. It's too expensive. Yes, I know there are some services out there that do it for you for thousands of dollars, depending on the size, depending on what you want to do. And again, that all gets determined in our consultation. I can give it to you for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. And this is
But what is that event gonna look like? Like, you don't even wanna pay $14.95 or $16.95 a month for Zoom. Okay, so how many events are you even doing virtually if you're not using the paid version of an online presentation/recording tool like Zoom?
this is a very simple setup. I already have a system. You would be piggybacking on everything I already have in place. Same with list building. All of the things above work for list building. We can work on growing your email list with
So, like, you're running ads
all of these techniques. Again, with
with all these techniques. Okay, so, like, are you making a lead magnet, so, like, a free downloadable thing to grow the list? Are you running ads to it? What are you doing to list build? That's what I'm curious about.
the roadmap I create for you. Okay. We can launch you a show, a podcast, a magazine. Again, I know some podcast agencies charge $12,000, $18,000 for you to launch a podcast, and you're going to be doing a lot of work and spending a lot of time.
12 to $18,000, like, where are you getting that number from?
These things are designed to minimize the amount of time you spend. Okay. So the way I do it is you give me the minimum and we do the rest. Okay. I have all kinds of shortcuts and procedures for you to run a show from Zoom with minimum
You couldn't even find the link to this at the beginning.
amount of time. Do you know that this episode is being streamed to YouTube and it's being added as an episode on my show through Zoom, through a couple of tools that I use? Super simple. In fact, it's also being
Yeah.
transcribed. The captions on the screen become a file, and that file becomes a source of content. In fact, this alone can become a course. This is how
This cannot become a course. You're just talking about, "I do social media, here's the pricing." That's not a course.
I work. Okay. We do something focused and we use it in so many ways. We put it everywhere. We make you omnipresent.
I agree that making a long form piece of content and then deciding to use bits of it different places could make it feel omnipresent. But her being, like, vague about the fact that she has systems and whatever, I don't know. I just don't know an example of any of these things. I don't know what her approach is. I don't know what kind of results her clients are getting. I'm just saying that I'm a little bit suspicious about this.
Okay. And this is just an example. Okay.
Okay.
Media releases for those of you who are ready to go big. Okay. We go to millions of people through traditional media's digital outlets, Yahoo, Fox News, Business Insider, and so on, 200 plus outlets. I help you craft the news release based on your business and where you want to bring people into. And we blast it all over the internet. This is gold alone.
Gold.
Okay.
Mhm.
And depending on a combination of services you decide to go with, it is
I agree. I think press releases are actually quite important, in particular if you're doing stuff in local and regional markets, or if you have a niche. Let's say you were a woodworker and you wanted to get covered into a woodworking magazine. Oh, hi, buddy. Hey, you want to say hi to the people? Oh, little Barty. This is Bart. Hi, Barty. I know you hate being picked up. Okay, that's Bart. He's a munchkin cat. We got him used on the internet. He came to us with stumpy legs. We didn't do that to him. But anyway, I do think press releases are actually really important part of the strategy. We just did one. We renovated our co-working space for the last 6 months and we did our grand opening last month. And we sent out a press release and we got some coverage. And I will say a lot of people were like, "Oh, I saw you in the paper and oh, I heard about your space." I feel like we do a fair bit of marketing, but press releases do hit a certain segment of the population that you might not be hitting with your marketing, and I think they're worth doing. I just don't know if she should do them for you, but for what it's worth. Cat sitting and purring. Maybe you can hear it in the
It
microphone,
is
but
very reasonable. Traditionally, each media release usually would run you $1,000. Maybe sometimes you can get a bargain in a little package. Okay. This
yeah.
will go to 200 outlets and it will not cost you nothing close to that. Okay.
In terms of using press release service versus sending it yourself, like blind copying a bunch of emails, I think it's more likely to be syndicated if you use these like press release services online and pay a few $100. You can have a list that you maintain yourself. Like we have one for our main office and one for our New York State office where we have radio station contacts, television station contacts, newspaper and other publications. And we just maintain it. Once in a while, we go in, oh, this person retired. Now there's a new director of the business section of the Bangor Daily News or something that we can update. But yeah, we typically send them ourselves because we're looking for more of that local or regional coverage. I think our press list probably like the main one and the New York one together probably have, I don't know, about maybe 150, 200 email addresses on them. So she's talking about how she has this list of 200 people. You can maintain your own press list if you want. You can probably even buy them if you wanted a kind of a general one. And it would give you, a list of names, email addresses, phone numbers, companies that they work for, people who are in radio, television, newspapers, magazines, those kind of things. Like you probably could build and maintain that yourself. But if you use a release service, because of the way it's submitted, there's a lot of websites that use like basically RSS feeds and they pull information from multiple websites. That client I was telling you about that did the paid release, I think they got the $750 package on pressreleases.com or prreleases.com or some website like that. And I think they ended up Yahoo Finance was the big one they ended up on, but they ended up on some Ohio radio station's website. They ended up on a website about whatever news related to education or something, or like it was a bunch of kind of random websites, but it technically was covered. It was appearing on all those websites. Occasionally, a bigger website will pick up on your article. And so it is worth using those release services for that. But I wouldn't use them for every release you had. Maybe just like one of the more important ones once in a while or something. Or if you really wanted to be able to say, as seen in Forbes or as seen in Business Insider or something, if you want to be able to say that and have it actually be true, I would do it a couple of times maybe. I think it just depends on what is important with the release. So yeah, you could use her list, but I don't know what 200 people she's sending it to. Do you know what I mean?
Totally encourage you guys to jump on a call with me. Go to prjulz.com, prjulz.com. Right there on the front, there is a link to book a call with me. It's called Visibility Roadmap. You can put in the comments that you're booking it because you want to learn more about these packages. Let's get you started. You can afford $97 a month. You can afford that. If you can afford to live, pay your rent, drive your car, put gas in your car, and buy yourself a cup of coffee, you owe yourself this.
I don't think we need to bully people into buying stuff. Okay. I think if people are ready to invest money in their marketing, they can decide how to spend it. Or if they want your help, they'll ask you for it. But I think telling people like you need to spend $97 a month, I don't know how helpful that is.
Because freeing up your time will make you more of a CEO of your business. It will free up your mind off the junk of social media, and you will be able to focus on things that generate you more money. Okay. And I will teach you some of those things. So that's it. I'm done with my blab. I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
Stop share again one more time. The link would be on prjules.com. You can see it in my name right there, prjulz.com. Book a call. Let's get this started. Okay. If you are serious about starting it out, and if you want to use that call to get this package formulated for you, even better, because the sooner you start, the more time you're going to save, and the more money you're going to save, and the more money you're going to make. So this is a no-brainer. If you know anybody who's complaining,
Yeah, I don't know. If you're doing it yourself, you probably haven't been paying yourself to do your own social media marketing. And if you're going from paying yourself zero to paying someone else something above zero to do it for you, it's going to feel like a bit of a shift. I think it's hard to tell people they're going to be saving money because the reality is that you've been paying yourself $0 to do your own marketing, and now you're going to be paying someone else to do it. You're not going to be saving money initially. You are going to be paying more money than you were paying yourself, which was zero. So just be mentally prepared that you're going to be spending more money initially. So her saying you're going to save money, I would say in the long run that's true, but not in the short term because you are going to be paying someone to do something that you were doing for free, and it'll take you a little bit to get that return back, maybe like in the way of booking more calls or getting more sales or whatever.
complaining about any of the things I mentioned, forward this to them. Forward this to them, please. There are lots of agencies out there who are going to scam you, get thousands of dollars for setup, and charge you big hundreds of dollars a month for a couple of posts that have nothing to do with your business. They just use their templates.
Okay, I'm not saying she's wrong here because I do think there's some agencies who charge an awful lot for what I think is not super valuable stuff, but there is a little bit more that goes into the calculation than a number of posts versus the price per month, right? You want to ask yourself things like, okay, are they just using like stock photography, or are they sending a crew to do a production day with me to get like content of my business? Are they making videos, or are they just doing like a still image as part of their content? Are they allowing me as the business owner to have ideas and collaborate and approve posts, or do I just have to hand everything over and just trust them to do it? Is there any kind of revision process if I do have some feedback about what they're producing for me? These are all questions you need to ask yourself. It's not like, oh, I'm paying $97 a month and I'm getting 50 or 40 posts. Okay, great. But like those qualitative stuff kind of figure in to the value too.
Okay. This is packed with strategy. This is packed with my knowledge running people's businesses, running their visibility, and getting people in front of more eyes. Okay. It's a no brainer, guys.
It just ends. Okay.
So,
So I'm not going to go over Jules's website with you. I do want to show you one photo that I saw on it though. If this is indicative of her level of Photoshop skills, or her team, I should say, I think that you would be better off hiring our team to do Photoshop. Ben's actually pretty good at Photoshop, and I was looking for better examples of this, but this is the only one I could readily find. So he did this in Slack for Jessica, where he photoshopped some lobsters in her hands at the top of the mountain. As you see, he made it look like her hands are actually going around the lobsters. The shadow is cropped out, so you can't see that she's actually not holding lobsters on top of a mountain. And the shading of the lobsters actually sort of matches the shading of the photo. I'm just saying, if you need Photoshop, we got some skills. It's not my skills, but my team has some skills that I don't, thankfully, which I appreciate. So, in short, what happened is that my client and Substack gave me as a business an opportunity to get in front of a bunch of people doing what I do. And rather than Jules seeking out her own opportunity, she decided to piggyback off of me. I don't exactly know what Jules did, because I basically got mentioned in Substack and then suddenly I was on Jules's list. So I'm not sure if she keeps up with the sort of business section of Substack and uses that to get clients, or if she was specifically trying to piggyback off of the article that was about my company, or mention my company, I should say. But either way, I think it was incredibly ballsy and incredibly douchey to just add me to her list because I definitely didn't add myself. But anyway, thanks for letting me talk about this weird thing that happened to me and the results from it. It's been a journey, this business. And every time I think I've seen it all, the universe likes to remind me that I haven't. So thanks so much again for watching. If you like this content or just want to see different content like it, there is a whole Nicole Reacts playlist on the Breaking Even Communications YouTube channel, as well as on our blog, breakingeveninc.com/blog. There's a Nicole Reacts category with all the videos on it. If you have an idea for a video, a person, a specific video, whatever, open to it. You can leave it as a comment on this video, or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of our website, breakingeveninc.com/contact. If you want to lightly keep in touch, a great way to do that is in our email newsletter. Breakingeveninc.com/newsletter is where you can sign up. We send it once a month or less, so we won't bug you. And yeah, these gurus, they'll just keep on coming. But the good news is you have a friend that's me in the marketing business who's not afraid to call them on their bullshit or their missing rows of their spreadsheets. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.